What is up, my Lorcana Goons? Welcome back to the Lorcana Goons channel. My name's Kevin, and we're going to talk about some Lorcana stuff today. You are watching the Monday Market Watch. We do these every Monday and Friday, and we talk about the market prices, the Lorcana news, and boy, do we have some Lorcana news to talk about today on February 26th. So if you do like this content, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe if you are a Lorcana Goon, because it does support the channel. But let's get on into this news of the day. So over the weekend, a lot has been happening for the Into the Inklands pre-release, but one of the first things I want to go over is this supposedly pulled Enchanted promo card Stitch. Now, if you've never seen this Stitch before, or if you don't know how you're supposed to get this Stitch is supposed to be given to the top 2 players, basically as an invite to the Lorcana Organized Play higher events. So you're supposed to win these when the Organized Play actually starts happening, basically like a regional event, or just kind of like your ticket to like nationals almost. They haven't really said exactly how that's going to work, but the point is you're not supposed to be able to pull this Stitch out of a booster box. Now, we have a Discord member from the Lorcana Goons Discord, link in the description below by the way, that claims they pulled it from their Into the Inklands booster box. Now, right off the bat, I want to ask you guys, do you think it's real or fake? They did post pictures, they posted this video right here, and by the way, this is not my video, this is them. I don't know if it's real, I don't know if it's fake. The foiling on this looks kind of nice, I'm not gonna lie. To me, you know, it could be real because there are a bunch of problems in terms of quality control with this set, to the point where Team Lorcana even had to make a response in their own Discord. But basically, this person claims they pulled this Stitch out of their booster packs. Now, a bunch of people are obviously saying, nah, that's cap. This is fake. It could be fake as well because there are some pretty good fakes going around for the Enchanted nowadays that have been pretty decent at mimicking the foil, but this card's so new and it just seems kind of hard to mimic that in my opinion. Plus, like I mentioned, quality control. I would not be surprised if this is real, and the Discord member did let me know that they are going to submit it for grading. So at the end of the day, I'm just going to wait until it's graded, and if it's graded, then I'm going to consider it obviously to be real. And this isn't the only report. There's been multiple reports of this happening. Let's get on into some more news. This is just rumors, but I want to know, in your opinion, if it is real, how will this impact the market? If it is real, obviously, it's going to, ruin the authenticity of this card because you're supposed to win this card, not pull it in a pack. But if it's fake, well then, thank you for wasting my time, buddy, because you've given me some content to talk about. But this picture caused an uproar on Twitter. If you guys didn't know, the Twitter was blowing up basically saying, no, it's real, no, it's fake, everyone, but everyone has their opinion, obviously. But, we'll wait until that gets graded. But speaking of Into the Inklands quality control, there has been a big upset in the community because there's a lot of claims of people who have been opening up their booster boxes and they've been pulling no foils in it. Some booster boxes don't have any legendaries. Some of them didn't have anything more higher than a rare, which is really unfortunate. We have somebody here that said, I just opened 2 boxes of a fresh case. One box had a foil legendary with 0 other legendaries, and the next box had 0 legendaries. Honestly, complete utter BS. And then another person claims, check your boxes before opening blah 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 code. They're duds, no enchanteds, no legendary. Somebody said, I only pulled 1 cold foil legendary and nothing else higher than a rare. And somebody else mentioned there's 0 rare plus batches, so some batches that didn't have anything at all. There's this image running around on Facebook and Instagram, Twitter, Reddit of these like serial numbers, is basically saying, oh, they don't have any, they don't have any rares in these, or these are duds. So before you open, make sure you check your serial number. But this got so out of hand that Rochelle from Team Lorcana had to make this post in their Lorcana official Discord, basically saying, hey everybody, I know we said this a bit ago, but if you have issues with the product, please send it to customer service through the contact form. So if you're one of these people who pulled nothing from your booster boxes to the point where you feel like you got finessed, you can actually send a customer service claim through the official Lorcana website. I think you guys should, because this is them trying to basically make up for any bad quality control that happened. She also went on to confirm that any information about the submitted batch codes is all arbitrary and that's not confirmed. So she's debunking the rumors. You guys got to stop spreading misinformation in this community because you're freaking people out. There's been inconsistencies with Lorcana printing since chapter 1. Cards look different in terms of color, in terms of cut, everyone's over here saying that the Enchanteds are fake if the foil naming is wrong, but I pulled Enchanteds from Rise of the Floodborn with foil names, and all that stuff is just arbitrary. Stop spreading those dang rumors. They have to say we want to make sure that fans compiling the codes in this way aren't sending the wrong message to others in the community. Sending us the info is the most effective way to handle this so they can confirm issues and help people get replacements. So once again, if this has happened to you and you got a box with like 0 legendaries or nothing higher than a rare, take pictures, send it to the official Lorcana website customer service, and I highly recommend that you guys start recording your booster box openings, because in general you want to be able to prove that you opened this box and these were your pulls. And on top of that, maybe start being a content creator and just upload the box breaks to the YouTube channel. I opened some boxes. I uploaded a live stream. We went live, we opened some boxes, and somebody even asked me, did you check the batch code before opening your booster box? And I said no, because that's so silly. Even if my batch code matched one of these batch codes here, I still would have opened it, because I already know that has nothing to do with what you're gonna pull. Quality control has been a issue with Lorcana since Chapter 1. I know Ravensburger is doing what they can to meet the demand, and that's the price that it comes with. We're probably getting booster boxes that have been printed from a variety of different printing places, you know what I mean? So try not to overthink a lot of that stuff. All these rumors you see on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, just ignore them until Team Lorcana actually confirms this with you. But that's not the only news I want to go over. I do want to go over the fact that we had a fresh restock of Chapter 1 booster boxes at SoCal Disneyland. You guys let me know if these are at any other Disneylands around the world. But as you can see here, they have a gang of first chapter booster boxes, and they were obviously selling loose packs out of them. They do not sell the whole booster box at Disneyland. It's like a 5-pack limit per person, but you can loop the line so you can get as many packs as you want. But this restock is booster packs, so this is definitely going to impact the market for the first chapter. I think we'll probably see a couple more Enchanteds from the first chapter being listed on TCG Player or other websites like eBay. And on top of that, they didn't announce anything whether or not this was a reprint. I am curious to know if these were like freshly printed or if this is just like a restock. But either way, first chapter booster boxes, they're still being put on the shelf at Disneyland. So just giving you that heads up if you guys plan on getting some like first chapter booster packs because you want to maybe pull some of these Enchanteds. There's a lot more on the market right now. I think if you are just trying to collect though, you're better off maybe picking up some sealed product from that. But enough of the rumors. Let's get on to these prices. So if you guys were looking to pick up some Into the Inklands even after this whole fiasco with the batch numbers, today you can still find them for less than MSRP. They've been selling for around 120, 125. Lowest verified today is going to be by PCB Hobby, and they have it for $121 with $2 shipping, and they have 29 of them for you. So still good to see that these booster boxes are selling for less than MSRP. I was able to find some online, and I probably paid about $115 per box, which was really good, and that's after taxes as well. So be sure to stay on the lookout for some nice deals. And the Illuminators Trove is going for way above MSRP. These sold at Disneyland all around the world. It almost feels like a lot of the LGS locations did not have the Troves or the gift sets or the mats this time around, probably because they were all stocked up at Disneyland. So today, if you do want a Trove, you can find one for as low as $89.75 with shipping included. We have some sales here. They've all been selling for around $90. This one sale is $64, but I guarantee it included that $20 shipping tax right there. There's 20 listings, and I get the feeling that these will still come down a bit. Into the Inklands is a very good set compared to Rise of the Floodborn, so there is much more demand for this set. But when the Target release comes out this Friday, I'm pretty sure these will come down just a little bit. But if you didn't know, the Into the Inklands Troves are different than the first chapter and the Rise of the Floodborn Troves. The first two Troves came with a little booklet and these cardboard deck boxes that look like they came out of a freaking 99-cent store. And these Into the Inklands Troves come with dice. They come with card dividers, and then they come with a cool lore counter. So they did up the quality of it. I think it's cool. Is it worth paying double MSRP? I don't know. Maybe not. I get the feeling that there's going to be a couple more restocks for this before they stop printing them overall. But as we've been seeing in the past, the Troves are usually like one and done. They print a couple and then they just don't reprint anymore. And the first chapter booster boxes, by the way, are still selling for above $200 more than MSRP, which is surprising to see when I just mentioned those restocks at Disneyland. But not everybody lives near Disneyland. So today, the lowest verified is going to be $203 by Brothers TCG with $10 shipping. So they have been going up little by little in these last few weeks, they were less than 200, and now they're starting to sell confidently for around $210. So first chapter booster boxes still very popular. I think it has collectability. I have one. I'm just gonna keep it sealed forever. You know what I mean? But let's check out these new Enchanted Rare prices, because I know a lot of us have been pulling Enchanted Rares this weekend. Look at me. I pulled Jafar. Pretty cool, right, guys? So I pulled an Enchanted, and I know a lot of us probably pulled some great cards. If you did get a booster box that actually had cards, actually had legendaries and enchanteds, and you probably want to know the prices. But Ursula, Deceiver of All, has just been dominating its placement as the most expensive Enchanted Rare in this set. We have a lowest verified for a near mint today for as low as $639. That's going by verified sellers though. So with Lorcana, it's a newer game, so there's a lot of non-verified sellers. So we do have some listings here for $469. We have another one for $500. So yeah, this Ursula Enchanted's honestly pretty high up there in my opinion. $500 seems kind of worth it. If you guys didn't know, even the Ursula Enchanted is printed as a Storyborn. So as you can see right here, it's supposed to be a Dreamborn card, but every printing has been, at least in the English that I know of, it comes printed in Storyborn. And they did confirm an errata. We honestly don't know if they're actually going to do a reprint and actually give us that errata, but we know for sure that this is a misprint, basically. It's supposed to be Dreamborn, not Storyborn, so I think that does add some collectability to it. We also have Jafar, Striking Illusionist, as our second most expensive Enchanted Rare in this set, for good reason. This card's just good overall in the meta, and the artwork on this is just lovely, you know what I mean? We have some sales today that have been going down for around that $220 mark. Artifact has you for the lowest verified today for $230. That's pretty cool. I'm excited to see that, obviously, because I pulled it. I'm probably going to hold mine, just the same way I've been holding my Cinderella Ballroom Sensation. And a lot of the other Enchanted Rares outside of those two kind of land within this $100 to $150 mark, very close to $150, like Morph Space Goo over here. We have some sales that have been happening today for that $150 range exactly. $150, $158, $145, and if you want to buy it yourself, lowest verified today is going to be $158.97 by RC Games. Now, what about the new location Enchanted Rares and the item Enchanted Rares? Well, those are selling for less than $100 right now. We have a light blade foil available for $75, but after that, the lowest verified is by Joker's Wild GC. They have it for $84.47. A bunch of these sales have been happening for less than $100 though. So some of these Enchanteds going for less than $100. I think this is a good come up right now. I feel like most of the Enchanted Rares should not be less than $100, but obviously we can see in the market, and I've seen people's opinions, that they're just not fond of the enchanted locations or the enchanted items. So these are going to be relatively cheap compared to some of the other Enchanted Rares from Into the Inklands. And since we're still on the topic of Enchanted Rares, Elsa Spirit of Winter, still the most expensive card in Lorcana. Slowly, might not be with that Ursula going around, but we do have some confirmed sales on that Friday for $790, $750, and $799. Today, lowest verified is going to be by Poke Singles for $764, and then Pokédex TCG has you for $800. So still close to that $800 mark for the Enchanted Elsa, which was kind of expected. Some of the other Enchanteds, though, are kind of still within that $200 range as well, but they have been coming down in price a little bit. The lowest verified for this Mickey Wayward Sorcerer Enchanted is going to be by All in All Card Kings for $206 with $1 shipping. So these were selling closer to $250 a couple weeks ago, but now that the new set is released, I feel like a lot of people are getting rid of some of their cards to maybe fund their Inkland experience, and we can see it in some of these other Enchanteds that are not necessarily being bought up the same way. Cinderella Ballroom Sensation, though, still a good Enchanted to pull from the Rise of the Photoborn set. We have a lowest verified near mint today for $277, but there's a gang of light plates. If you guys want to pick up a light plate instead, Oinker's Island has it for as low as $234, which might not be too bad. Sometimes the light plates are just, labeled that way because people think that it's not going to get graded as a 10 or something. So, if you want to take that risk, I think that's not a bad price for a Cindy Ballroom Sensation. And we do have some sales today confirming that $275 price. One for $264 and one for $275. Those probably included some shipping, so add a couple bucks more on top of that. And to finish off the Enchanted news, the Pete Bad Guy, being the lowest Enchanted from the Rise of the Photoborn set, is still selling for around $90+, almost $100. Hawaiian Dueler has you for $94.99, almost $100, which is good to see. And this card was selling for like $60, $65, $70, which is the reason why I feel like a lot of the enchanted locations or the enchanted items, all of these like new enchanted cards that are like not selling for $100, I think eventually they're gonna hit that $100 price range. As time goes on, they're gonna be harder to find. And on top of that, there are 18 enchanteds into the Inkland, so it makes it really hard to pull the one you want to pull compared to some of these other enchanteds where we had 12%. But enough of the Enchanted news, let's check out some singles prices. So we have Ursula, Deceiver of All, seeing a big bump in the market. So when we checked on Friday, it was the initial release day of Into the Inklands. Obviously, pre-orders were super expensive, and people were selling this card for around $50 to $60 on the pre-order. Then it fell to as low as like 30-some dollars. I feel like on that Friday, we were looking at this card and it was closer to like 25, 30. But over the weekend, yeah, people just realized that this card is the goo. This card is honestly really powerful. We saw that Emerald Amethyst took first place at the 101 player Battle Bear tournament, and we just did a video on that, so make sure to go check out those top 8 deck lists so you can keep up with what's meta, so you know what not to sell, by the way. Over the weekend, look how many sales happened. I'm just keep scrolling and scrolling and scrolling. This is just from yesterday. Look at that. It jumped up from as low as $35, and now today, if you want one, you're probably going to be paying closer to $50 for this Ursula Legendary. Wow, that's pretty awesome to see. We have a lowest verified by Hobo with a binder for $42 and $5 shipping. After that, they start to hit $46 with $1 shipping. Like I said, close to that $50 range. And you know, we all already know, I just mentioned it, that it was printed in Storyborn, but it's supposed to be a Dreamborn, so that does add to the collectability of it. Look at this. Even the foils are really expensive right out the gate. Red Moon Cards has the lowest verified foil for $75, and after that, they all stay within that $75 to $80 range. So if you pulled an Ursula foil, I think maybe you want to keep it. You know what I mean? This is the beginning of the format. People are starting to build the Emerald Amethyst deck, or just Emerald decks in general, and Ursula Deceiver of All seeing a lot of popularity. And there's only 5 listings left for the cold foil, so I think it might even go higher. I know a lot of people like to foil out their decks. We have some sales today that happened for $78, $85 on the foil range. Most recent is $70 with 99 cents though. But still, if I had one of these foil, I'd keep it. But I like the fact that the non-foils are selling for so high. I have one, and I'm just going to keep it because I like the concept of the fact that it was printed as Storyborn. I think that's really cool, and I'm sure a lot of people like that as well. Jafar, Striking Illusionist, the second most expensive legendary from this set, has been selling for as high as $40. We have some sales happening today for $38.50, $37.99, $36.75. Today, the lowest verified right now is going to be by Thunderforge Gaming for $36.99. After that, the next verified seller starts to go up for as high as $38.96, so almost $40 for the legendary Jafar, which is kind of cool to see. It's kind of expensive, and the lowest verified for the foil is going to be $48 with $4 shipping, so around $52 or $50 for the foil. It's only about $10 more for the foil. I think you guys are better off just getting the foil on this card. Just pay that extra $10 if you're going to pay, you know, to get this Jafar, because I get the feeling the non-foil prices for this card are going to kind of stabilize a little bit lower than that $40 range. The card is really good, but I don't think the card is going to be like the best card of the format. I honestly think that Ursula is a little bit better. Let's take a look at some of these other legendaries that have just been trending upwards since Friday's release. And I said on that last Friday Market Watch, I was kind of looking at some of these legendaries and I was thinking, ooh, these are super cheap, because Jim Hawkins was selling for as low as like $15, and this dude nearly doubled in price over the weekend. We've seen how you can play this in Ruby Amethyst now, and a couple other Ruby decks are probably going to make use of this card as well. Today, lowest verified is by Coke's Games for $32.99 with $1 shipping. We have some sales confirmed here, one for $38, $35, $30.48, and some cold foils have been selling for $60. That's wild. So 2 of them sold for $59.79, another 2 sold for $55, so it's almost $60 for the cold foil Jimbo Hawkins. I would probably value it at like $50 to $55 myself. Next up, Robin Hood, Champion of Sherwood, very popular in Amber Steel decks. I've seen people play this in the Amethyst Steel decks and the Emerald Steel decks as well. It's a pretty good shiftable character, offers a lot of pressure. That 6 willpower doing it on turn 3 is just crazy. Today, if you want the Robin Hood Sherwood, we have a lowest verified up $29 by Rank Vader and $1 shipping. So we do see them selling for around that $30 range still. This is kind of the price that it was at on Friday, which is cool to see. It's been sticking around that same price. The cold foils are selling for around $45 though. Lowest verified is Dr. Cardzart for $42.96 with $1 shipping. Kita is another legendary that has been going up in price over the weekend. They were selling for around $6 on Friday, and I thought that that was really low. I even mentioned that a lot of people are playing decks with Kita in it, and it's looking like people really started focusing on buying singles this time around instead of buying the booster boxes, because there's only 57 listings left. Lowest verified today is by Thunderforge Gaming for $14 with $1 shipping. Let's take a look at this cold foil price for Kita though, because there are only 18 listings left. Mad Cards Florida has you for $24 $24.90, close to $25. And I get the feeling if this card keeps on seeing meta play, it's probably going to go as high as like that $30 to $32 range on the cold foil market, the way the Mufasa Amber card was going. Next up, we have Perdita. This card being played in the new Ruby Amber deck, or a lot of Amber decks in general. The card offers a lot of tempo. It's pretty good. We saw it in the top 8 of our most recent video. This card has been selling for a whopping $13 to $15. We have a lowest verified today for $12.99 by Underworld Cards. That's pretty cool. $13 right on the dot. There are some non-verified sellers, but it's still basically $13. And the cold foils for this one have been selling for, only $16? That's only like $3 more. I think if you guys are watching this video and you still don't have your Perditas, you should definitely get the cold foils because they're only about $2 more, right? If this card continues to see meta play, I think the cold foil is going to go up. And if it doesn't see meta play, the non-foils are for sure going to go down. Remember how low some of these legendaries have gone from the previous formats, like Belle being $9, or let's say something like Alice being like $8. $16 with $1 shipping does not sound bad for a cold foil legendary when the non-foils are selling for around $13 already. So the prices are pretty close together and they're going to diverge, I'm sure. Now I want to talk about some very popular cards from the new Inklands format, because if you guys have these cards, or if you're pulling them from your booster boxes, or you have them in your trade binder, make sure you're pricing them correctly and you're getting that value, because I did not expect Queen's Castle to be an $8 rare. So today, lowest verified for the Queen's Castle is going to be $8.49 by ANC Sales. But check this out. Some of these cold foils have been selling for as low as $10.99, $9, only like 50 cents or more. Come on, guys. This is the no-brainer. You guys should just be buying the foils. Look at that. The foils are only $10 and the non-foils are $9. Of course I'm going to buy the foils instead of buying the non-foils. I don't know about you guys, but I think this is a very amazing card in the format right now, and if you guys want to play this card, just buy the foils, because the non-foils are probably going to go down once we see more printings of Into the Inklands hit the big box retailers. Some of these rares, it feels like we're only pulling like one per box, and there's a lot of good rares this time. I remember when Lilo first came out in the first chapter, it was like you only pulled one Lilo and one Cusco per box, you know what I mean? And with the Rise of the Floodborn, that's how Cinderella Ballroom Sensation was. You were only pulling like 1 or 2 per box if you were lucky. So these cards like Queen's Castle, Morph Space Goo, they kind of fit in that criteria as well, which is why the prices are kind of this high. So today, if you want to Morph Space Goo, we have Enchanted Finds for the lowest verified for $7.45. And that's kind of what they've been selling for. Not $10, but around that $7 to $8 mark. But if you want a cold foil morph, it's only $3 to $2 more. Check this out. Red Moon Cards has you for $9.95. And Mad Cards Florida has 3 of them for $9.95. But not after today, because I'm adding those to my cart. You know, I still have some TCG credit from the Christmas time that I gotta spend. So I think I'm gonna get some of these cold foils that are definitely undervalued. And if not undervalued, when I get these cold foils and the prices drop on the non-foils because there's gonna be more in the market, my cold foils are for sure gonna hold more value than they would have if they were non-foil. Lucky Dime was a card that we were looking at on Friday that was selling for as low as like $3, and I was like, what the heck? Why is this card so low? Today, though, if you want to play Lucky Dime, you're going to be paying almost double. The lowest verified is going to be $6.99 by a cash connection. So shout out you guys for these low prices. Mad Cards Florida has 4 of them for $7.99 as well, which is pretty cool when sellers have more than one listed, because you can save some money on shipping instead of having to buy like multiples from different sellers and paying shipping fees for each different seller. So my tip for today is to look for that when you're buying some of these cards. But lowest verified for the cold foil, only $12.42. That's pretty dope, and there's not that many left that are less than $20, because there's 3 listings that are in that $12 to $15 range, and after that, lowest verified is by Infinite TCG for $20. So that's kind of cool to see. Wow, maybe I'll just get one of these. I'm gonna try and get one of these actually, because who knows? Maybe I'm sleeping on Lucky Dime. I feel like Lucky Dime is not bad. I just think we need the right, we need the right player to make some Lucky Dime goo happen. Next up, Milo Thatch. Now, this is a card I'm bringing up because they was selling for around $12 on Friday, and one of the first things I said was, this card's going to drop. This card's going to be about as expensive as like Fairy Godmother, which was like $5 to $7, and lo and behold, look at this, lowest verified today, $7 by Corey Smash Cards, and the foils are selling for like $10, which is kind of cool. So if you're a Milo Thatch believer and you want to play Milo Thatch, maybe consider getting the foils, because legendary foils are just nice in my opinion. They're hard to pull, but I do want to mention that my cousin opened 6 boxes and he pulled a significant amount of legendary foils compared to the amount that we would normally pull from First Chapter and Rise of the Floodborn. So maybe he got lucky, but maybe the ratios are a little bit better with some of these legendary foils in this set. But only $12 by Red Moon Cards is what you pay for a foil Milo Thatch, and I think that's just $5 more than the non-foil, and the card is just okay. So if you just want to collect it, I think just get the foil. It's probably worth it. But I do want to talk about some legendaries from the previous formats today. If you want a Sad Beast, they've been selling for a decent amount more. Lowest verified is going to be by Cards and Mo for $49 with $2 shipping. So $50 card is what Sad Beast is looking at right now. Obviously, Sad Beast is really good in steel decks. Steel is making a very big impact in the meta right now with Emerald Steel, Amethyst Steel, and Amber Steel Song. Lowest verified for the cold foil is going to be by Dave's Cool Cards for $66.99. Yeah, remember a couple weeks ago when we were looking at the Market Watch, I was saying that Beast is on his way to be a $70 cold foil, and I'm pretty sure it's going to hit that mark very soon. Just like the way Rapunzel has been confidently a $70 cold foil, even though it doesn't see as much meta play anymore, this cold foil is still selling for a lot. But the non-foil has been coming down in price a little bit. They used to be closer to $35. Now they're in that $30 range. Voltage Buzz Games has you for as low as $30.98. And according to Zach Vivens, who is a very good Lorcana player who just launched his Lorcana channel, go check that out, by the way, he claims that Rapunzel is probably going to see a resurgence this format. So I get the feeling this $30 price range is not going to last very long. You know, $5 does make a difference, and it was selling for around $5 at one point. So I think if you could find them for $30 in person, that's a come up. And if you want a cold foil, lowest verified today for a mint cold foil is going to be by God Prusa for $70 and $2.50 with shipping. So almost $75, about $72 is what you probably, if you buy it online, you're going to be paying $75 for sure. In real life, I would try and pay like $70 for this cold foil. Again, princesses, collectible, and Lorcana. Cold foil legendaries, collectible, and Lorcana. They're hard to pull. A lot of times when I'm opening packs, I'm opening up some of these cold foils and I'm like, this one sucks, this one's unplayable, you can't use this one. So when you see playable cold foils, and honestly, I get a good feeling, you know, because they're really hard to pull. Belle, Strange But Special, another legendary that has still been selling for $25, which I'm kind of surprised at. There's only 89 listings, and I feel like a lot of people aren't really playing Sapphire right now, but there's plenty of sales happening for that $26 to $25 range. Voltage Buzz Games has you for $23.98 for the lowest verified. But since Belle is a princess, I do like to look at the cold foils for these because it does have a lot more collectability than some of the other cards. So Zig's Card House is now the lowest verified with $50. So I want to say these were selling for closer to $40 like a couple weeks ago. But yeah, near mint cold foil is now $50 for your Belle Strange But Special. I'm telling you guys, cold foil legendaries are where it's at. Maleficent Monstrous Dragon, though, is a card that has just been coming down in price since the end of the format. People kind of shifted to not play this card, and now in this new format, it's a lot faster of a game. It seems like Emerald Amethyst tempo deck is just kind of ending the game by like turn 7. So sometimes you don't even have enough time to play Maleficent Monstrous Dragon. I know in my testing already, I cut this card from my Ruby Amethyst deck. I like it in my Ruby Sapphire deck, but man, in Ruby Amethyst, it just feels like you're ending the game a lot quicker, and you don't even get to 9 ink. And even if you do get to 9 ink, there's just plenty of other cards you can use for removal now that you don't need the Maleficent Monstrous Dragon. So I know I'm not the only person that thinks that, and we can see it in the price today. It is $24.45 by Supply Mart for the lowest verified. This card used to be $35, then it came down to like $30, and we're looking at that on Friday. But now closer to $25. So if you're a collector, I think now might be, you know, a good time to start getting some of these playsets. The cold foils are still in a good place though. They kind of bounce off that $70 mark, but obviously because the new set comes out and people want, you know, to play some of the new cards, maybe they're getting rid of their cold foils that they have, you know, stocked up. So the price has come down a little bit. Lowest verified is $60 though by Baby Jane's Cards. But like I always say, look at this. The cold foils are just maintaining a good value. So from 70 to 60 is only a $10 difference. Same way it was from 35 to 40. So wouldn't you just rather have cold foils? You know what I mean? They're a little bit more expensive. And at the end of the day, the percentage is nicer the way it comes down. Elsa Spirit of Winter is another card that I'm surprised is still selling for more than $15. Tornado Games has you for $15.99 for near mint. It's hard to find near mints from the first chapter though, but I get the feeling that's going to get a little easier with some of these restocks that I've been seeing. Elsa being Elsa though, no matter what, even if it is the non-enchanted, look at these cold foil prices. Today the lowest verified for the cold foil is now $55. We've been seeing this go up since the beginning of February, and it almost seems like a lot of these foil legendaries are definitely starting to be picked up by the collectors. $55, that's nice. We had a recent sale today for $56, and like I said, if you want to pay if you want a foil Elsa today, 9 Worlds TC has you right here for close to that $60 range. After them though, the next verified seller is going to be Nightlife cards for $61.67. Now what happened with Beast Relentless? I thought this card was the best card. I thought Emerald Steel was the best deck. Look at this chart. Oof. It's just been coming down in terms of the non-foil range. Still selling for $20, but Lay Valley Cards has 4 of them for you. Clock Collectibles has 3 of them for you. So if you want them, you can find playsets from one store, which is very nice to see. But even the cold foil for this card has been going up in price, probably because it's still very playable in the format. And we were seeing how it's been bouncing up and down, but this is what it's settling at. We have a listing by Great Cards Cheap for $39.99. And they have 2 of them. So about $40 for the cold foil. That's good to see. The card's good. The card's still good this format. I think people just need to, play more Emerald Steel, and then we'll start seeing some top 8 lists with that. Mufasa Betrayed Leader, still bouncing off that $20 mark. Lowest verified today is by Wolf Game Models for $17.50, which is cool to see. There's a lot of Mufasa decks in the meta too, so don't underestimate Mufasa's playability this format. And look at this. The cold foils are starting to pick up in price a little bit too. There's 28 listings only now, and lowest verified for a near mint is going to be by Rad Lad Games for $33.49. And we have another sale that happened for $35 today. So that's cool. Mufasa Betrayed Leader now close to a $35 cold foil. Ursula Power Hungry has been kind of coming down in price though. Lowest verified today, if you want a near mint, is going to be by Nightlife Cards for $12.49, which is kind of cool. So less than $15 now for the non-foil Ursula. But the cold foils, same thing. There's only 17 listings, and we already know that these are going to be a little bit expensive. Prophecy Gaming Co. has you for $38.48 though for the foil. Cardboard Castle also has you for around $40. So kind of coming down. I feel like these peaked at like $45 last format when everybody was playing for Ursula at the end of the format, and now again I feel like the format's so fast, and Ruby Amethyst has a much quicker win condition where you don't need to play later game cards like Ursula. So I get the feeling some people are going to start offloading their Ursulas because they want more Inklands money. Hades Infernal Schemer has been coming down in price, so if you want to play Sapphire, maybe pick these up before they go back up in price. These were selling for closer to $25 last Friday. There was a bunch of listings for the non-verifieds, and today we have even more listings. We have 90. Those verified today is going to be by Cloud Collectibles TX for $19.37. So around $20 for the Hades Infernal Schemer. That makes sense. People aren't playing Sapphire right now, but the cold foils, only 13 listings, and it's still around $50. We have Foils and Friends for $46.85 with $1 shipping. Cold foils, man, I'm telling you, they just keep their pricing even when the card's not even being played that much, because that's kind of expensive for a cold foil Hades. Now, everybody's favorite cold foil, probably my favorite cold foil, Mickey BLT. So if you want a non-foil, you can pay like $8, but the cold foils, there's 20 listings now. Unfortunately, they've been picking up a lot more in listings, but they are not $100 anymore. They kind of bounce off that $100 range. We have Junior's TCG Emporium for $83 and $1 shipping. A couple of these were selling for like $90, $95. I think one even sold for maybe $100. If we look at the sales history, the most recent cold foils have been selling though for around $85 over the weekend. Like I mentioned, the restocks in Disneyland probably do make an impact on some of these prices. So we have a $100 sale that happened on the 22nd. But I think if you're paying $100, you might have overpaid just a little bit. But I think as time goes on, this card will definitely keep its collectability. So I'm not too worried. I'm holding on to mine, and I'm probably going to keep holding it for a really long time. Piglet Pooh Pirate Captain is a very popular card in the format. I'm going to go over some supers that are really good into the Inklands that people are looking for. And same thing, after cracking a couple boxes, I feel like you only get like one of these per box, man. So if you have this card, maybe hold on to it. I think it might go up in price a little bit because it's really popular. But lowest verified today is going to be $2.97 by ANC Sales. The cold foils are also really cheap today. We have a lowest verified cold foil Piglet for only $5. And look at this, Win Condition Games has 2 of them for you. So I get the feeling that that's a little undervalued. You're going to be paying almost $5 for the non-foil if you order it online. So why not just pay a couple bucks extra, and just get the cold foil versions? I think the cold foils will probably go up in price too, just a little bit, the way we've seen some of the other cold foils stay over $10 in First of the Chapter and Rise of the Floodborn. Sheriff of Nottingham is a very popular card as well. This card's using that green steel deck, and today it's going to be around $3 as well for the non-foil. We have Steadfast Hobbies for $2.90 with $1 shipping. So there's a bunch of listings, obviously, but I think as these decks become a little bit more popular, we're going to start seeing some of these prices go up just a little bit at least. Cold foil for this card is going to be $6.98 by Sparty Steve. So I'm comparing the prices from the non-foils to the cold foils because I'm always going to make the claim that you guys should just get cold foils instead. And especially if there's sales, especially if there's listings that have more than one in their sellers. So that's kind of cool. Chernabog, very popular. We see this in Mufasa decks. We've been seeing it in Amber Steel right now. Goes great with Whole New World. It's as low as $2 with $1 shipping. Rand Art Cards has you today for the lowest verified. They have 2 of them. Cloud Collectibles Texas has 4 of them for you for only $3 and $1 shipping. So like I mentioned, you can get a couple. And Red Rhino has the foils listed for $7.43, less than $10. Now this cold foil, that's a good price for the cold foil. You know what I mean? That's almost like double the non-foil price. Actually, almost triple because it's like $2, right? But yeah, cold foil Chernabog, pretty cool in my opinion. Less than $10. I think that's a come up. Madame Medusa, super popular right now in Ruby. This card is insanely good. I love this card. So the fact that it's only selling for as low as $1.27 with $1 shipping, I think that's outrageous. But you know, we do have 237 listings, so it does make sense. And I'm pretty sure there's a lot more Inklands to go around. So maybe don't overpay for these cards. But if you want the cold foils, this is what I like to see. They're close to $10. We have canned TCG for $7 with shipping included on those cold foils. After that, we have a couple more listings that are around that $6 range with $1 shipping. Prince Eric Expert Helmsman. This card is amazing as well in Ruby decks. It's selling for as low as $3. We have Corey Smash cards for $2.31. You know, they have you right there close to $3. And the cold foils for these are going to be as listed as low for $4 by SD Pokey Guy. So shout out you for this low price, less than $5 for this cold foil Eric. But I mean, it's an uninkable, and I feel like a lot of people are only playing 2 copies of this card, whereas people are playing like 4 copies of Madame Medusa. But people are playing only 2 copies of Chernabog, so I think this card's a little bit better than Chernabog, and I kind of want some of these cold foils myself. Kind of don't want to buy them online, especially because I already added that other stuff to my cart, and I, would prefer finding them in real life. So I'm probably gonna try and hit up my local LGS or what's it called, Frankensons to pick up some of these cold foils that I can find, because I feel like right now these cold foil prices are really cheap, especially when we're barely establishing the early meta. There's only like 1 or 2 videos, mine and Lorcana Villains, talking about like the top 8 list that just came out. So as the news starts spreading that there's a new meta in the Inklands, we're probably going to see some of these cards start getting bought up a little bit. Whole New World still selling for that $15 range, which is awesome to see because this card is just amazing. Voltage Buzz Games has you for $14 for the lowest verified. And let's take a look at the cold foils, because a lot of these cold foils were selling for more than $20 last week. And look at that, they're still maintaining their pricing. Random Encounter Games has you for $24.49 with shipping included. They have 2 of them. So $25 for the cold foil Whole New World, which is awesome to see. I know a lot of people at Disneyland on Friday were picking up first chapter and Inklands booster packs. So bless the pulls. I hope you guys pulled some really good stuff. And it is going to make a little bit of an impact on the market, like I've been saying. So we are going to see some of these prices kind of fluctuate within these next few weeks. But these cold foils are just keeping their value because they were selling for around $30. And $5 less is not too big of a deal. Tinkerbell Giant Fairy, awesome card in the format, been coming down in price, actually still that $10 range. So Solo Gaming has you for $9.96, and the cold foils today are still selling for around that $20 range. Prophecy Gaming Co. has 2 of them for you near mint for $20 with shipping included. Always nice to see that shipping included, always nice to see multiple listings on one seller. So shout out Prophecy Gaming Co. for that. And then along came Zeus, is going to kick off our rares today. This card has been going up in price a little bit as well. I did see this for as low as like $2 on a Friday, and I mentioned that this card's really good. A lot of people are playing Steel decks this format, and this is almost like a mandatory card you play in Steel. So today, the lowest verified is going to be by Red Rhino for $5.65. Remember guys, Strength of a Raging Fire was like a $10 rare at one point. So, there's only 48 listings of this card left, and a lot of these rares you have to play 4 of in the deck, or even, 2 to 3. So it's going to have a lot more sales movement than some of these legendaries or some of these uninkable supers where you're only playing like 2 to 3. There's only 10 listings on the foil market for this card as well, and lowest verified is going to be by Thunderforge Gaming for $10. After that, they start hitting close to $12. So Little Root Games has the next listed verified for $12, almost $15. So cold foils, guys, cold foils, cold foils, cold foils. I love to see it. There's some other rares right here that we have available to you, like Bare Necessities. I opened up some boxes. My cousin opened up 6 boxes, and this is another card that feels like you only get like 1 of per box. So into the Inklands Bare Necessities, we have the lowest verified today for Red Rhino for $4.20. Love to see it. And then we have a couple sales that have been happening for the cold foil market as well. The cold foil for this card, there's only 14 listings left on the cold foils, and these are only $6 by Loot Box Official. Wow, so it's only like $1 more for the cold foils than the non-foils. I think that's a come up. So Loot Box Official, thank you for having this low price for the cold foil bare necessities. This card's amazing. This is like a staple in Amber, and if I feel like you're only pulling one per box, this is probably going to go up in price in the non-foil and the foil range. So maybe pick them up before we start getting an established meta. I don't know. Cursed Merfolk is another card where I feel like you don't pull too many of them per booster box. This card's really good in the Emerald Amethyst Tempo deck. This card's good in general. It adds so much pressure. I can't believe people said this card wasn't good. I love this card. Lowest verified today is going to be $2 by Rand Doctor Cards. They have 12 of them ready for you, and it's only $2 with $1 shipping. So if you want 12 of these, maybe just pay the time shipping, and then you can pick them up. You pick up all 12 for $24. That's kind of nice. Maybe I do need a playset of Cursed Merfolks, you know? We never know. I might add that to my cart. Actually going to add it right now because I think that's a really good price. Oh, not available. Never mind. Rand Dr. Cards does not have them, but Epic Card Games has the same price, and they have 4 of them right there ready for you. Only $2, which is cool to see. But rares do seem like they're more available than some of the other cards in Lorcana. And if you want some foils, they're only about $2 more. So we have Trev Rippin for $3.68 and $1 shipping. Shout out you for these low price on the cold foils. RLS Legacy is another very popular card in the format right now. This rare is selling for around $2, which is kind of cool. So make sure you're getting that value from your trades, you know what I mean? And the cold foils for this are selling for around $3 with $1 shipping, so close to $5 for the foil RLS Legacy, which is kind of nice, not bad at all actually. We also have John Silver, Greedy Treasure Seeker. This card's pretty good. The promo for this is like $10. By the way, all the Inkland promos right now that you get on your LGS, if you guys want to make the money on them, sell them quickly because they always go down. They always go down, and they're always more expensive within the first few weeks. So we have a non-foil listing by Arnax for $2 and $1 shipping. And if you guys want a cold foil of this card, it's not a bad price. There's a lot more cold foils than there is non-foils for this card as well. So today it's going to be about $5 for the cold foil John Silver Pirate. Now I want to talk about some cards that have been seeing a little bit more meta play, because now we're seeing the meta get established, and Emerald is very powerful this format. So the cold foil genies have been going up a little bit in price. I did see these kind of selling for around $3 a couple weeks ago, and today lowest verified is going to be by Nightlife Cards for $4.98 with $1 shipping, so almost $6. And then KD Cards Plus has you for $4.50 with $1 shipping. They have 4 of them, but not for long, because I think that's a come up. I think Genie's is really good this format. Tempo is so strong right now, and if you can like generate tempo on the opponent and make sure they never keep characters on the board with cards like Genie, Cloud Kicker, or like Bounce, or even Mother Knows Best, combined with that other Ursula card, oh my goodness, that deck is actually really good. So I'm not surprised that the Genie is going up in price a little bit. The Ariel Spectacular Singer is really good right now because this card is going to let you see bare necessities if you really need it sometimes. So don't sleep on Ariel. The lowest verified for the foils today is going to be $8.99 by Voltage Buzz Games, and I think that's a really good price. And then we have Ursula Deceiver. This is the uncommon Ursula that comes into the Inklands. It's kind of hard to pull. I've seen people say that they only pull like 1 or 2 per box of these as well. So I'm surprised the non-foils are only selling for like 50 cents online. Personally, I think if you guys want this card, just order it online. I don't think you should be opening packs for this card because it's just too hard to pull. And if you can find it for 50 cents with $1 shipping, that's a come up. But the cold foils are selling for kind of high actually. Epic Card Games has the lowest verified listing for $6.42, and there's only 10 listings for this cold foil. So I think this cold foil is kind of cool. I like that it's selling for so high, almost $10 for this cold foil Ursula Deceiver. And last but not least, I just want to go over the Stitch playmat, because obviously these are MSRP of $20. These were sold at Disneyland, and there was a bunch, and I've seen people have like 5 to 10 of these because they were just looping the Disneyland line. And as of today, they're selling for a whopping $40 to $50, which is kind of cool. Gamer's Choice has 7 of them ready for you for $51.63. Wow. What do you guys think of the Stitch mat? I like the Honey Wizard mat more personally, and they're around the same price already. So the Stitch mats are reselling for around $50+. The Moana mat, same thing, selling for around $40. So, you know, playmats, sealed product, it's always going to have its place in Lorcana, and we can see the resellers taking advantage of the sealed product now. But that is going to be all for this Monday Market Watch. Remember guys, we do these every Monday and Friday, so if you like this content, come back on Friday and we can do it again. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe as well. I'm looking forward to seeing where some of these prices go, especially with the Enchanted rares, and I also want to see what happens to the future of Lorcana Inklands because of the debunked rumors of these serial numbers. You know what I mean? So let me know know if you guys had some bad batches. Like I said, reach out to Ravensburger through their customer service, and if you guys do, please leave some comments below and let us know about your experience. Let us know what they do for you. So if they replace those boxes, that'd be really cool of them, because nobody wants to buy a booster box and pull 0 legendaries. You know, and nothing's guaranteed, yeah, but there's also an expectation when you're buying some of these boxes, you know what I mean? And I think the quickest way to make customers hate your game is to give them a box that has no hits, obviously. So I do like that they went out of their way to debunk the rumors and to basically ensure that if you did have a negative experience with this booster box, like to that degree, they'll do whatever they can in their power to make you happy. So great customer service from Ravensburger. Really appreciate that. That's pretty awesome to see, and I'm looking forward to see what happens with the Lorcana meta into the Inkland. So remember to come back on Friday, but until then, stay tuned to Lorcana Goons, and we will see you goons next time.